Back again, this time with the Mage cards from the newest sets. Did decide to use the webcam for this one. I was a little apprehensive about it. You may see this and think, Andrew, you're not Asian or Eastern European. You can't possibly know anything about card games. Well, I know like one or two things, so... yeah, my advice may not be best taken, but, it's all in fun anyway, so... First up, we have Cold Wraith. Common, 3 mana for a 3/4. Battle Cry, if an enemy is frozen, draw a card. Stats are good. Playing this on curve will almost never get you the Battle Cry, unless you manage to Frostbolt something on turn 2 that didn't die, or you are completely insane and running Freezing Potion. Elemental Mage seems to be what this set is about, but I can't see this being of much use. It's decent in Arena, just as a 3/4 for 3, so for that, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Frozen Clone. Common, 3 mana secret. After your opponent plays a minion, put 2 copies of it into your hand. Have you ever heard that a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush? This and Mirror Entity put that to the test. Would you rather... Excuse me. Would you rather have a copy of a minion your opponent played in play or 2 of them in your hand? The majority of the time you'll want the one in play. The only time you wouldn't is if it is a weak minion with a powerful battle cry effect. I would stick with Mirror Entity in almost every case. For that, it gets a 2 out of 10. Breath of Syndragosa. Common, 1 mana spell. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion and freeze it. Early game removal always finds a way to be useful. This will be great in Arena, less amazing in Constructed, but could make Tempo Mage a thing again, with Sorcerer's Apprentice making it free. It's also a card that is flexible enough to have use in the late game, as well as combo with Archmage Antonidas. This deserves a 7 out of 10. Ghastly Conjurer. Rare, 4 mana for a 2/6. Battle Cry, add a Mirror Image spell to your hand. Mirror Image is good for one thing, using with Antonidas to make fireballs. Is it worth running a bad minion to do that? Not really. There are too many other good 4-cost cards for mages that actually have an immediate effect on the board. Just because it might have some use in Arena, as the stats aren't bad, and being able to stall out a little bit is good, I would give it a 3 out of 10. Ice Walker. Rare, 2 mana for a 1/3 elemental. Your hero power also freezes the target. The loss of a lot of Inspire cards in this rotation, there's a shortage of reasons to want to keep using your hero power. Fallen Hero was a 3/2 for 2 that made your hero power deal 1 extra damage, and that card saw no play despite having at least respectable stats. I oddly see this having some potential, despite being unusable in Arena. Freeze effects can't be undervalued in a class that makes good use of them. For that, it is a 4 out of 10. Doomed Apprentice. Rare, 3 mana for a 3/2. Your opponent's spells cost 1 more. Kind of an opposite of Sorcerer's Apprentice, but costing 1 more. Also an opposite in that people actually play Sorcerer's Apprentice, and nobody will play this. Why slow yourself by playing an understated minion to try and slow down your opponent? Bad stats also mean bad in Arena. 1 out of 10. Glacial Mysteries. Epic, 8 mana spell. Put 1 of each secret from your deck into the battlefield. Secret mages have suddenly been a thing lately, however they tend to want to get out their secrets before they get to the late game. Has similarities to Mysterious Challenger, except without a 6/6 to go with it. In a tempo-based deck, a card that costs 8 will just sit in your hand and not help you much. This is about a 2 out of 10 card. Simulacrum. Epic, 3 mana spell. Copy the lowest cost minion in your hand. Great to use on 0 cost Arcane Giants. Also capable of getting you a bonus Archmage, Antonidas, and Freeze Mage. Kind of specific and clunky, but very useful in the decks it will see play in. And obviously, try to avoid this in Arena. In the decks that will be using this, it's an amazing card, so it will get a 7 out of 10. Syndragosa, legendary, 8 mana for an 8/8. Battlecry, summon 2/0/1 Frozen Champions. The Frozen Champions, when killed, give you a random legendary minion to your hand. The question is, would you rather have this or Medivh? Syndragosa has slightly better stats, but in effect it requires activation. Medivh is a much faster card in that you're getting the minion as well as the effect of whatever spell you are playing. Mage does have the ability to kill the champions with her hero power, so you could have a potential turn 10 of an 8/8, a 0/1, and a random legendary minion in your hand. It's good in super slow games where an extra 2 big minions can make a difference, but just too slow overall compared to some better cards. I would say a 3 out of 10. Finally, Frostlich Jaina. Legendary, 9 mana, gain 5 armor. Battlecry, summon a 3/6 water elemental. Your elementals have lifesteal this game. Your hero power is now Icy Touch. Deal 1 damage. This kills a minion. Summon a water elemental. 9 mana cards need to be pretty game changing, and this one falls just short. Power would be amazing if it could be used in the mid game to keep your health afloat while you get to the later turns. There are just too many better cards to play on turn 9. Alexstrasza to set up for winning the game next turn. Ysera for a more immediate threats. Majority of elementals are also low cost minions, so at the later part of a game you aren't going to have many left sitting in your hand or want to draw them. I could see this being really good in Wild, where you have access to Reno and you can make games drag out a little further, but in the more tempo, quick meta that we seem to be going with this last few sets and going into this one, for now, it is a 5 out of 10. So the best cards for this one, Simulacrum is good in the one deck that you're going to play it in with the quest, of course. Or like some weird Freeze Mage where you want to try and get infinite fireballs. Other than that, Breath of Syndragosa is going to be really good and may make Timbo Mage come back, and it's always nice to have a variety of different decks that are playable. So overall, Mage gets a few good cards to go with decks that are already good, and the rest seems to just kind of be filler.